David Goggin, UCI, 1965 to 1969. When I entered college at UCI in the rainy fall of '65, there was very little landscaping and consequently rivers of mud running between the few buildings. We had no choice but to go to class barefoot. It was a tumultuous time with riots at our sister campus in Berkeley, fears of being drafted and being sent to Vietnam, exciting rock concerts in Crawford Hall, and a very marked distinction between the small but influential hippie element and the more traditional sports and social networking of the conservative UCI element. When I grew a short little beard, there was only one other student with a beard on a campus of 1,500 students. It's hard to believe now, but it took gumption to grow a little stubble and do your thing. I believe this was the first campaign button to make the anteater the school mascot. Schuyler Bassett rode to school in a limousine and financed this outrageous campaign, which threatened to make UCI the laughing stock of the sports world. There were 5 candidates, maybe a bear, an eagle, a steer, a lion, and an anteater. Here I am, all dressed up for the first light show in Southern California, in Crawford Hall. We had a school club and put on a concert with Janis Joplin and Big Brother and the Holding Company. The entire band was paid $400 and covered their own expenses from San Francisco. The show was almost stopped when the Dean of Boys raided the dressing room, but I was able to get word to Janis beforehand to hide her bottle of Southern Comfort. At another show, we had the Buffalo Springfield. Our bubble machines, an innocent idea, resulted in total destruction of the basketball floor from wet, dancing feet. We overloaded the circuits with our overhead projectors, strobe lights, black lights, bubble machines, slide and film projectors. For a remarkable length of time, Crawford Hall was cast into total darkness, and both Neil Young and Stephen Stills had no amplification. It was lighters and acoustic guitars. Visiting Stonehenge during my year abroad at the University of Edinburgh, we spent the night in a VW camper so we could see the stones at sunrise. And before my school year began, I visited Abbey Road in London, September '67, as a guest of John Lennon during the mix of I Am the Walrus, and again in June 1968 during the recording of Revolution No. 9. Here I am beneath Edinburgh Castle at the end of my junior year. This was above the coffee shop, David Goggin and Greg Hoffman posing as physics teachers' assistants, disproving Galileo's law, referencing the earthquake fault of Lombardini running underneath the Tower of Pisa. Our prank was witnessed by a reporter from the Los Angeles Times. See, the 2 weights were dropped. The 25-pound weight was a cantaloupe which smashed on the pavement. The 10-pound weight, visible at the bottom of the frame, was made of styrofoam and floated away. Obviously, objects of different weights don't fall at the same speed. Our guerrilla theater was called PHUCI. In this sketch, we parodied the TV show You Asked for It. As our version, You Were Asking for It. I would make announcements with my head in the oval of the giant Skippy peanut butter jar, as was done on TV. Note the slogan, if you like Skippy, you're like nuts. Our guerrilla theater performance, a Rolling Stones parody, teaching assistant big-time teacher man. Yes, we were nonviolent, and yes, we were irritating. Another one of our shows was called The Takeover of the University, and after heavy leafleting resulted in the administration building being shut down. Years later, in the 80s, I revisited Irvine and had the chance to chat with Chancellor Aldrich. The years had tempered and perhaps mellowed the memories of that time of strife and strikes. I felt like the 2 of us made our peace, and this was shortly before his death. That's me as my alter personality, author, photographer, journalist, Mr. Bonsai. It was a grand education at UCI. See you around. Bye.